Hey, all you newly engaged beauties out there. If you just got engaged, this video is for you. Not just this video though, this is only part one. I'm going to be making a mini series for you, unpacking everything I learned as a first-time bride that just got married a couple weeks ago. So stay tuned, hit the follow button, save this video. I'm about to dive in and unpack some of my best advice and tips and tricks that I learned over planning my 2024 wedding. All right, my very first piece of advice for you is to start an Excel spreadsheet right away, and that is where you are going to do all of your planning. That's where you'll write your guest list out. That's where you're going to put all your budgeting stuff. It's just so much easier if you put it into an Excel sheet. My second piece of advice for you is to start your guest list as soon as possible. Just start writing names down and get an approximate guest count right from the beginning, because that is going to set the ground for you in booking your venue, figuring out approximately what your caterer is going to cost, what you're going to need for chairs, tables, any of that. Start with your guest list, get an approximate guest count right off the bat. My third piece of advice for you is to book your venue as soon as possible as well. These venues book up really fast and they book really far out. And what I found when talking to other vendors, pretty much all of them asked me when you're getting married and where you're getting married, because they want to make sure, one, they cover that location, and two, that they're available on your date. So book that venue pretty quickly. Tip number 4 is to research the venues and pay attention to how much time they give you and what all they include. And I also loved our venue because her website was a wide open book. I mean, I knew her available dates, I knew everything that was included, I knew lodging, I knew all kinds of recommended vendors. I really appreciated a venue that was just open book and honest about everything. So I swear, like, research, and pay attention to reviews as well. Tip number 5 is to think about what time of year you're going to get married and what time of day you're going to get married. But these are very important things, because industry professionals will recommend that you get married an hour and a half to 2 hours before sunset. And with that, if you're getting married, for instance, like us in May, the sunset is like 8:30 at night. 8:30. And most of the venues rent it to you till midnight. So there's not a lot of time after you have the ceremony for 30 minutes, give about an hour for photos, and then you get into the reception, and then you got to be out of there by midnight. You're trying to cram in all these different things that you want to do into that time frame. It didn't give a lot of time to socialize with guests and stuff like we would have liked. So just something to consider. Like I said, I'm a first-time bride. I learned all this the hard way, and that is one thing that we talked about at the end of our night. We were like, where did time go? It went by so fast. So I would definitely consider that. I know you probably want a spring or a summer wedding, but really think about that, like how much time you're gonna have to like celebrate after the ceremony if you get married an hour and a half to 2 hours before sunset. Tip number 6 is to use your venue's recommended vendors. It is really hard to sift through the internet and the Facebook groups, and if you post looking for recommendations for something, you are going to get bombarded with a ton of people. And I'm going to tell you, just because they're the cheapest doesn't mean they're the best. Always pay attention to the reviews, okay? I almost booked a crappy, we're going to just say crappy, hair and makeup crew, and like I was that close to booking them because they were the cheapest. I am so glad I didn't. After reading the reviews and everything, I was really glad I didn't book them. So start with your venue's recommended vendor list. They already have a rapport with those vendors and good experiences and everything. They've already vetted them. So if they're recommending them, they must be good. All right, y'all, that is a wrap on part 1 of this mini series. I'm not really sure how many parts we're gonna do, but I hope y'all enjoyed it. Drop your comments and your questions below. Let me know how I can help you in planning your big day. I'm not a planner by any means. I just learned so much in the planning process and on the day of my wedding that I want to help other people navigate this process as well. So I hope you enjoyed and follow along. There will be more parts coming soon.